At the school badminton competition, upon learning my racket was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, Chloe yelled at me. Hundreds of thousands of dollars? Just for a beat-up racket like this? Are you out of your mind? You're a complete spendthrift. She pulled Ethan, a scholarship student, closer. His monthly living expenses are less than $500. Wouldn't it be better if you used your money to financially support him? I frowned. It's my money, I'll spend it however I want. Who is he to me? Why should I financially support him, just because he's poor? There are plenty of poor people in the world. Seeing that I was unrepentant, Chloe went furious, demanding I hand over all my bank and credit cards. I'm going to marry you eventually. All your family's money will be managed by me from now on. Starting today, if you want to spend money, you have to request my permission. I fell silent, looking at her with an unfamiliar gaze. I turned and called Grandpa to break off the engagement. Since she empathized with Ethan so much, I'd give her what she wanted. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and let us know in the comments where you're listening from. Are you serious? Grandpa asked me. Yes. Why? No reason. I just don't like her anymore. Grandpa was silent for a moment on the other end of the phone. He said, all right, let's find a time for both families to have dinner and make it clear we're breaking off the engagement. I agreed, picking up my racket and heading to the court. After the match, I won the men's singles championship. And thanks to my excellent performance, our class won the team championship. I became a key player. Many classmates egged us on to go to the karaoke bar to celebrate. You guys go. Ethan isn't feeling well today, so I'll stay with him. Chloe's single sentence froze the atmosphere. Everyone looked at me, including the teacher. Because they all knew Chloe and I had grown up together, were childhood sweethearts. And were engaged. I looked at Chloe, my eyes stinging. 20 years had left an indelible mark on my heart. Yet, in her heart, I couldn't even compare to Ethan, whom she'd only known for a few months. Chloe, the atmosphere is so great, don't be a party pooper. A classmate tried to persuade Chloe. Besides, tonight is to celebrate Noah, it wouldn't be right for you not to go. Ethan also said, Chloe, you should go. I'll be fine by myself. After speaking, he covered his mouth and coughed twice. Chloe immediately looked anxious, reaching out to pat Ethan's back, her tone scolding, you say you're fine, but how can I not worry when you're like this? The surrounding classmates, seeing my sour expression, quickly laughed and said, Chloe is just too kind. She can't bear to leave a sick Ethan alone. That's right, it's our good fortune to have such a kind classmate. Kind? At that moment, my heart ached. Just because of kindness, could she, without my permission, give my clothes, shoes, watch, or even my money to Ethan? Did she even know I was her engaged fiancé? Or did she know, but simply not care? Why aren't you leaving yet? Forget it, I can't be bothered with you all. I'm taking Ethan to the hospital. Chloe helped Ethan leave. After taking a couple of steps, she turned back and said to me, oh, I almost forgot to mention, the only reason you won the championship is because that hundreds of thousands of dollars racket gave you a huge advantage. Your actual skill level is just mediocre. Hearing that, I smiled and nodded, you're absolutely right. 20 years of being childhood sweethearts, and in the end, we couldn't achieve a happy ending. That's outrageous. How could she say something like that? Sarah felt indignant on my behalf. Exactly, Noah prepared for months for this match, leaving home at 4 in the morning every day and not returning until 10 at night. I want her to apologize to you. I stopped Sarah as she was about to chase after Chloe, Ling, forget about it. There's a saying, people who don't love you won't see your efforts. If that's the case, why should I care? Let's go, my treat tonight. The atmosphere in the karaoke bar was lively. Because wasn't there? Before, during class group activities, no one disliked him for being a scholarship student, they took him everywhere they went. But he always made awkward and out-of-place comments. A plate of fruit costs $100, so expensive. You guys are really rich. I'm not rich enough to buy gifts like you, so I can only offer verbal blessings. Happy birthday. My family is poor. I really envy how you can just throw away clothes when they're torn. He always disguised himself as a victim, as if we were flaunting our privilege with money in front of him. Whenever this happened, Chloe would always step forward to defend him. What are you thinking about? You're the star of the night, how can you not sing a song? Sarah thrust the microphone into my hand, then got up and went to select a popular love song. This used to be my favorite song, but it wasn't anymore. Change it to a breakup song. Sarah paused, then quietly changed the song. Just as the intro began, the karaoke room door burst open, and Chloe walked in with Ethan. Instantly, the lively atmosphere in the room fell silent, so quiet you could hear a pin drop. As if Chloe hadn't noticed, she spoke to herself, Ethan convinced me. I thought about it, and he's right, I really should come. And I think it's important for you all to see a brand new him. With a beaming smile, Chloe announced, Tata. What do you think? Isn't he handsome? The room remained utterly silent. I looked at Ethan, who was wearing my clothes, pants, and shoes, and was the first to applaud. He certainly is handsome. You have good taste. Chloe was pleased with my reaction. Ethan is actually very handsome, he just didn't have the money to dress well before. Now, you can see he's no worse than any of you. He smiled. Handsome? Dressed in my clothes, pants, and shoes, he looked mismatched. A mud fish, no matter how it tries, will never become a soaring dragon. It was merely a case of beauty being in the eye of the beholder. Chloe scanned Ethan up and down, tapping her chin. It seems like something is still missing. She turned to me, Noah, take off your watch and give it to Ethan. I froze for a moment, looking down at the watch on my wrist. It was Chloe's first birthday gift to me, holding special significance. Although it was years old, I had always taken meticulous care of it. I even considered it a symbol of our love. Now, she wanted me to give it away myself. I was silent for a long time, then spoke in a hoarse voice, Are you sure? What's there to be unsure about? It's just a watch, and you have plenty of money to buy a new one. Chloe said indifferently, walking over to take the watch off my wrist herself, then put it on Ethan's. In that moment, I saw Ethan smile at me, his eyes full of triumph and provocation. Noah, you're finally acting mature. Chloe was pleased that I didn't make a fuss after giving away the watch, and happily pulled Ethan to sing. I watched the two of them singing a love duet, sitting on the sofa expressionless. I wasn't acting mature, I was learning to not care. The party ended, and Chloe, having had too much to drink, leaned drunkenly against Ethan, insisting he walk her back to the dorm room. Ethan looked at me with a feigned helplessness, but his eyes clearly held triumph. I shrugged, if she wants you to walk her, then do it. After saying that, I walked out of the karaoke room, but my eyes were already red-rimmed. The next day, Sarah, Chloe's roommate, found me and asked, Noah, Chloe didn't come back to the dorm room last night. Did she call you? I immediately fell silent. Sarah seemed to realize she'd said the wrong thing and quickly made an excuse to leave. I walked alone towards the track field, pacing aimlessly on the track, thinking about all the little moments Chloe and I had shared. Childhood sweethearts, growing up together since we were small, my world had always been filled with her. From kindergarten to college, I had always protected her, never letting her suffer even the slightest harm. When she was in elementary school and was teased by older students, I, with tears in my eyes, dragged her to confront them, demanding an apology. I even got into a fight for her. In the end, she received an apology, and though my face was bruised and swollen, I smiled happily. On the day of her 18th birthday celebration, I bought all the fireworks in the city and reserved the front page of the local newspaper to celebrate her. That night, our families formally agreed to our engagement, and I was so happy I couldn't sleep a wink. I thought we would continue like this, spending the rest of our lives together until we were old and gray. But everything changed after she met Ethan. She no longer acted sweet and flirtatious with me, but instead gave me scolding and yelling. I tolerated it again and again, for no other reason than that I loved her. But did she love me? Before yesterday, I was certain of the answer. She loved me too. But today, I realized I was wrong. She didn't love me that much. But I didn't understand, could 20 years of shared history really be worth less than a few months? I couldn't find an answer to that question. I don't know how much time passed. I heard someone calling me. It was Chloe, and predictably, Ethan was standing beside her. I walked over and looked at Chloe's beautiful, flower-like face, feeling a sharp pang of pain in my heart. The truth was right in front of me, there was no need to guess anymore. Chloe felt a pang of guilt as she looked at me, explaining, last night, Ethan fell and hurt his back on the way to drop me off, so I stayed with him at the hospital overnight. Yeah, it hurt so much. Ethan rubbed his back, it's still aching and sore even now. I watched him perform his act in silence. Hurt his back? Could it really be such a coincidence? Did he really fall? Or was he just too dedicated? But the answer no longer mattered. I nodded, As I turned to leave, Chloe grabbed my arm. You don't believe me, do you? No, I'm just tired. I calmly pulled Chloe's hand away, but she lunged forward and hugged me. Okay, don't be angry. I just forgot last night and didn't let you know I was safe. I promise, it won't happen again. Indeed, there wouldn't be a next time. I pushed Chloe away, saying indifferently, anything else? Ethan smiled, I have something. Thank you for giving me the watch last night. I really like it. But my family is poor, so I can't give you such a valuable gift in return. I saw some nice mangoes at the supermarket, so I specially picked some for you. Please don't despise them. Looking at the bag of mangoes Ethan offered, I felt as if I were seeing a monstrous flood, and I kicked the bag over with my foot. Noah, what are you doing? Ethan specially bought these mangoes for you, and you. Chloe angrily scolded me, but upon seeing my icy gaze, she involuntarily took 2 steps back, swallowing the words she was about to say. Have you forgotten I'm allergic to mangoes? Hearing this, Chloe's expression changed. But seeing Ethan standing helplessly nearby, looking like he'd been caught doing something wrong, my heart ached for him, and she frowned at me. Even if you're allergic to mangoes, you just don't eat them, right? Why kick them over and betray Ethan's kind intentions? Besides, it's just an allergy. It's not like you just found out you're allergic to mangoes today. Just take a couple of pills, and you won't die. What did you say? I looked at Chloe in disbelief. You won't die? She could actually say something like that. The next moment, I smiled, you're right, no one will die, but I don't like it, understand? After saying that, I looked at Ethan, since you like my things so much, I have a lot of old clothes and shoes. I'll have someone send them over to you. The words had barely left my mouth when Chloe's furious voice rang out. Noah, you've gone too far. Apologize to Ethan. I scoffed. Why should I apologize? Wasn't I just stating facts? You. Ethan pulled Chloe back. Stop it, it's all my fault. With tears streaming down his face, he bowed to me. I didn't know you were allergic to mangoes. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I sneered. So, it wasn't just manipulative and scheming women, there were manipulative and scheming men too. Disgusting. You don't need to apologize to him. You're not wrong, he is. He should be the one to apologize. Chloe pulled Ethan up, looking at me with daggers in her eyes. I'm ordering you to apologize to Ethan. Huh. I let out a mocking laugh and turned to leave, Chloe's furious yelling echoing behind me. Noah, if you dare walk away, don't expect me to ever speak to you again. I smiled faintly. Gladly. In the following days, Chloe stayed true to her word, spending every day with Ethan. She never contacted me once, nor did she ever call me. Even when she saw me on campus, it was as if I were a stranger. Sarah asked what was wrong between Chloe and me. I smiled, what could be wrong? Just a breakup. My roommates exchanged glances. They couldn't believe I would say I broke up with Chloe, especially since they knew perfectly well how much I loved her, but didn't know. When came, Chloe showed up at my door, bringing Ethan with her. Today is a family dinner, so try to look more pleasant. Don't keep that sour face, and curb your rich kid temper. I glanced at Ethan, then asked calmly, is he coming too? Of course. To thank me for all my help, Ethan specially brought local homemade gifts from his hometown for my parents. I looked at the bag Ethan was carrying. It contained walnuts and dried dates. Ethan smiled, the gifts aren't expensive, but it's the thought that counts. Thought? More like an ulterior motive, I bet. I scoffed inwardly, saying nothing more. If wanted to humiliate himself, why shouldn't I let him? And, knowing full well it was a family dinner for both sides, insisted on bringing an outsider. She was disrespecting not just me and Grandpa, but also her own parents. But judging by her expression, she clearly hadn't realized, or perhaps she did, but simply didn't care. After all, everyone knew I loved her to my core, and that love gave her the confidence that I would forgive her for anything she did. But she forgot that there's one taboo in love, betrayal. Betrayal, once it starts, is never just once. I wouldn't let myself be hurt over and over again. So, today was the last time we would be able to sit together calmly. I gave her a deep look, then turned and got into the car. Chloe felt an inexplicable panic when I looked at her, and she opened her mouth to speak, but Ethan interrupted her. Chloe, let's get in the car too. Today, I really want to thank your uncle and aunt for raising such an excellent daughter. Hearing that in the car, I couldn't help but scoff aloud. The way he said it, it was as if he were going to marry Chloe and was meeting the parents today. I told the driver, drive. When I arrived at the private dining room at a high-end restaurant, Aunt greeted me with a smile. Noah, you're getting handsomer and handsomer. Where's Chloe? Why didn't she come with you? Speak of the devil. Chloe walked into the private dining room, with Ethan by her side. Instantly, Grandpa's and Chloe's parents' expressions changed. Uncle, his face stern, asked, Chloe, who is he? Before could speak, Ethan smiled, hello, Uncle and Aunt. I'm Chloe's classmate. I specially came today to thank you all. After speaking, he placed the bag containing walnuts and dried dates from his hand on the table. Aunt glanced at it, then asked coolly, "Thank us?" "Yes, I'm a scholarship student at school, and Chloe has always taken great care of me. I believe that if it weren't for Uncle and Aunt's upbringing from a young age, Chloe wouldn't be so kind. So today, I insisted on Chloe bringing me along, partly to express my gratitude, and partly to see how exceptional the uncle and aunt who raised Chloe are." Ethan was undeniably silver-tongued, his words made Uncle and Aunt's expressions soften somewhat. "Since he's Chloe's classmate, he can sit with us," Uncle said, seeking Grandpa's opinion. "What do you think, Grandpa?" Grandpa looked at me. Seeing no objection from me, he nodded. At this point, Aunt noticed the watch on Ethan's wrist, and her expression changed. "Where did you get that watch on your wrist?" Chloe replied, "I asked Noah to give it to him. Anyway, this watch is old now, and Noah doesn't lack a watch. Instead of throwing it away and wasting it, it's better to give it to someone who needs it." Hearing this, Aunt nearly choked with anger. "That watch was your first birthday gift to Noah. He cherished it like gold. How could you make him give it to someone else?" As soon as she said this, Chloe remembered the significance of the watch, and her face suddenly changed. "Ethan, you." I cut her off. "There's no sense in taking back something you've given away. Besides, I don't like it anymore." Hearing this, Chloe's eyes widened. She looked at me in disbelief, but still retorted stubbornly, "You don't like it? You said it yourself, so don't come begging me to get it back for you later." I smiled, "I won't." Seeing this, Chloe frowned, and the panic she had felt earlier suddenly intensified. She thought for a moment, then poured a glass of red wine and held it up. "All right, it was wrong of me to ask you to give the watch to Ethan. I apologize to you. But you also have a fault. I forgot the meaning of that watch, and since you remembered, you should have reminded me. So it was still my fault?" I watched Chloe finish the red wine. Ethan suddenly spoke up, "I didn't know this watch had such important meaning. I shouldn't have taken it." He hastily took off the watch and handed it to me. "Noah, here, take it back." I didn't even glance at it, saying calmly, "I don't want things that others have used." "Noah." Chloe was enraged. "It's just a watch. Do you have to passive-aggressively humiliate Ethan like this?" Her voice rose with anger. I remained perfectly calm. "Humiliation? You're wrong. I'm stating a fact. Just like this item, so too are people." Suddenly, the private dining room fell completely silent. Chloe stood up, her face cold as she demanded, "What exactly do you mean by that?" I looked at Grandpa. Grandpa put down his teacup and looked at Uncle and Aunt, saying, "Actually, the reason we invited you today is to discuss breaking off the engagement between the two children." "Break off the engagement?" Uncle and Aunt were filled with disbelief. "Grandpa, you can't just throw words like that around." "That's right, Grandpa, marriage is a serious matter, not something to joke about." "I'm not joking," I said. "Breaking off the engagement is my decision, because I believe two people who don't love each other won't find happiness by forcing themselves to be together." "You're saying we don't love each other?" Chloe stared intently at me. "You don't love me anymore?" I smiled, "Yes." "I don't believe it." Chloe screamed, "Noah, how can you not love me anymore? Explain yourself." "How?" I pointed to the watch on Ethan's wrist. "Need I say more?" Chloe was speechless for a moment, then angrily retorted, "Just because of such a small matter? I admit I was wrong about that, and I've already apologized to you. What more do you want?" "A small matter?" I let out a self-deprecating laugh. So she really didn't love me. Something I cherished as a treasure was not only carelessly given away by her but also considered an insignificant trifle. Uncle spoke up, "Noah, you know Chloe's personality. She didn't mean any harm." Aunt echoed, "That's right, it's our fault for spoiling Chloe. Please be more understanding." I shook my head, "Uncle and Aunt, there are some things you don't know, and I don't want to talk about them." "Tell me. I'd like to hear what else I've done." Chloe yelled angrily, "If you don't give me a clear explanation today, I'm not letting this go." Hearing that, my expression turned cold. I had originally wanted to save Chloe's face, but since she didn't need it, I wouldn't hold back. I said coldly, "That night you were drunk and let Ethan walk you back to the dorm room, but you never went back. What do you think a man and a woman do together at night? Do I need to spell it out?" Chloe felt a pang of guilt and lowered her head. "You scoundrel." Uncle slammed the table and stood up. "Chloe, tell me, is what Noah's saying true? What were you doing that night?" "Ethan hurt his back, and I stayed with him at the hospital." Hearing this, Aunt nearly lost her breath and forcefully poked Chloe's head. "You little rascal. Noah is your fiancé." How do you expect him to feel when you're nursing another man in the hospital because he's hurt? Uncle stared intensely at Chloe. Was it really just nursing him in the hospital? It's true, Ethan can vouch for me. Ethan, say something. Ethan remained silent. Chloe froze. The next moment, she turned to me, her eyes sincere. Noah, I just didn't think much of it when Ethan got hurt, and I forgot to call you. Please believe me, I didn't do anything to betray you. I looked up, my gaze filled with icy coldness as I took out my phone, opened the photo album, and tossed it onto the table. See for yourself. The phone lay face up, revealing a photo of Ethan and Chloe embracing, completely naked. You. Aunt's finger trembled as she pointed at Chloe, too angry to speak. You scoundrel. Uncle angrily slapped Chloe across the face. Chloe seemed not to feel the pain, staring blankly at the photo on the phone, shaking her head repeatedly. Impossible. How? How do you have this photo? Then, something dawned on her, and she suddenly looked at Ethan. It was you. She pointed at Ethan and yelled, why did you send that photo to Noah? You promised me you wouldn't. I'm sorry, Chloe. I love you too much. The thought of you marrying someone else just tears my heart to shreds. Ethan looked at Chloe, his eyes full of love, then he knelt before Uncle and Aunt. Uncle and Aunt, what's done is done. I will take responsibility. Please give me a chance. I will prove that I'm no worse than Noah, and I will be good to Chloe for the rest of my life. I let out a cold laugh. The truth was revealed. Ethan, you truly are manipulative and scheming. I'm ashamed to admit I'm not as cunning as you. Since you love Chloe so much, then I wish you both a long and happy life together. Noah. Chloe, with tears streaming down her face, reached for my hand. I shook her off, then turned and said, Grandpa, let's go. Noah, please wait, you and Grandpa. Uncle spoke up, I will give you an explanation for this matter. With that, he glared fiercely at a distraught Chloe, who had tears streaming down her face, then sat down and looked condescendingly at Ethan, his tone cold. What did you just say? You're no worse than Noah? Ha, look at the clothes and shoes you're wearing, which one isn't Noah's? How dare you claim you're no worse than him? As soon as he heard this, Ethan's face immediately turned mortified. He racked his brains and came up with an excuse. That's because I didn't have the same background as him. If I had the same starting point, I could do even better than him. So you set your sights on Chloe. Uncle stared hard at Ethan, his eyes openly filled with fury and disgust. No, Ethan said in a panic. I truly love Chloe. Without her, I wouldn't be able to get by at school, I might not even be able to eat. Is that so? Aunt, having recovered a bit, interjected, in that case, it's understandable that you fell in love with Chloe. Ethan's face brightened. Aunt's tone immediately and cold. But was Chloe the only person who helped you at school? Why didn't you fall in love with anyone else, but specifically Chloe? I. Ethan was drenched in sweat. Faced with Aunt's interrogation, he could no longer come up with an excuse and could only gaze deeply at Chloe. Chloe, believe me, I truly love you. Shut up. Chloe snapped angrily. Ethan, only today have I truly seen your true colors. I was blind before. You claim to love me, but what have you done? You took advantage of my pity for you, repeatedly escalating the conflict between Noah and me, promising me everything was fine, yet secretly taking photos and sending them to Noah. Your love for me is false, using me to achieve your own goals is the truth. In my heart, you're not even worthy of tying Noah's shoelaces. These words made Ethan's face turn crimson. Chloe, however, didn't look at him again. Instead, she grabbed my hand once more. Noah, I know I was wrong. I was deceived by him before, but it won't happen again starting today. Please forgive me, give me another chance. The truth is, I've loved you all along. I gently pried Chloe's hand away, my gaze still cold as I looked at her. You say everything was because you were deceived by Ethan. Were you deceived into sleeping with him too? At this question, Chloe's face instantly changed. She lowered her head, not daring to look at me. I smiled, so don't keep saying you were deceived by Ethan. From the very beginning, you knew everything in your heart, but you didn't care. My love for you made you reckless. But I don't love you anymore. Grandpa and I walked out of the private dining room at a high-end restaurant. Noah. Chloe ran out after us, with Ethan close behind. Chloe grabbed me as I was about to get into the car, crying, Don't go. I really know I was wrong, please forgive me. If you just forgive me, I'll do anything. Ethan dropped to his knees before me. Noah, all the fault is mine. Please forgive Chloe. She loves you. Oh much, she'll die without you. I looked at Ethan coldly. Even now, he was still trying to play the devoted lover. He was manipulative and scheming down to his core. Chloe held on to my hand, not letting go. Noah, I can kneel for you too. As she bent her knees to kneel, I gripped her arm firmly, saying indifferently, no need. I can't bear it. At these words, Chloe cried even harder. Noah, what exactly do you want me to do for you to forgive me? You're wrong. At this moment, I don't hate you, because where there is no love, there is naturally no hate. Chloe's body swayed, and she screamed, I don't believe it. We grew up together, 20 years of history. I don't believe you've completely forgotten. You must be lying to me. I looked at Chloe as if she were a stranger. Does it even matter if it's a lie? True, 20 years of memories aren't easily forgotten, but love is illogical. Falling in love happens in an instant, and falling out of love happens just as quickly. Not loving someone means not loving them. From the moment Chloe showed favoritism toward Ethan, our ending was already sealed. Believe what you will. I pulled Chloe's hand away, got into the car, and told the driver to drive. Noah, don't go. Through the rearview mirror, I saw Chloe chasing the car. The wind messed up her carefully tied hair, her shoes were gone, and she ran barefoot behind the car, crying and shouting, her makeup smeared by tears. Suddenly, she stumbled and fell, scraping her knee. Ethan tried to help her up, but she pushed him away fiercely and continued to hobble after the car. I exhaled deeply and told the driver to speed up. She couldn't catch me, and I couldn't give her another chance. Grandpa, I want to go abroad. All right, I'll make the arrangements. In the days leading up to my departure, I didn't go back to school. My roommates told me that Ethan clung to Chloe daily, but Chloe never gave him the time of day, openly stating on more than one occasion that she only felt pity for him, and even scolding him for punching above his weight. I knew she was trying to reach me through my roommates. But what was the point now? She had personally shattered our 20 years of history, and now she wanted to mend it herself. But what's broken is broken, a broken mirror can't be mended. Even if it were painstakingly pieced back together, cracks would remain. Without favoritism, Ethan had a miserable time at school. Because of his previous actions, none of his classmates liked him. He became a complete outcast. Whenever he appeared at school, he was inevitably met with pointing fingers and whispers from students, calling him delusional and overestimating himself, thinking he could marry into wealth. The day before I left the country, Sarah texted me, saying that Ethan couldn't handle the huge disparity in his situation and had a mental breakdown, going insane. I simply said oh and had no further reaction. Neither nor Chloe had any relevance to me anymore. But I didn't expect Chloe to appear downstairs at my house that evening, kneeling in the rain. Noah, please forgive me. Noah, please come out and see me, okay? Noah, I truly can't live without you. I stood by the window, watching as rain mixed with her tears, falling drop by drop onto the ground. Grandpa asked me, should I go out, or let her in? No need. I drew the curtains, turned to pack my luggage. Tomorrow was my departure date, and I didn't want to cause unnecessary complications. The rain outside kept falling, and Chloe's voice kept calling out until late into the night when it finally faded. She caught a high fever from the rain and was rushed to the hospital. The next day, my departure day, Aunt called me. Noah, please come see Chloe. She's delirious with fever and keeps calling your name. I hesitated for a moment, but still refused. Aunt, you know the whole story between Chloe and me perfectly well. To be blunt, I don't owe her anything. I know, but please. Essie, as an aunt, I'm begging you, just come see her. I sighed and glanced at my watch. All right. I rushed to the hospital and saw Chloe lying quietly on the hospital bed. Only at times like this was she relatively quiet. With half an hour until my flight, Chloe woke from her coma. Seeing me, she was disoriented for a moment, then lunged into my arms, holding me tightly, her voice choked with sobs. Noah, you finally came to see me. I didn't push her away again, instead gently patting her back. Get well soon. She nodded vigorously. I'll listen to everything you say, whatever you say, I'll obey. With 10 minutes left before my flight, I brought a bowl of warm soup and fed Chloe, spoonful by spoonful, with my own hands. Her face was filled with happiness as she nestled into my arms. Noah, how I wish this moment could last forever. I wiped the corner of her mouth. Don't overthink things. What you need to do now is focus on getting better. With the final 10 minutes until my flight, I stood up. You get well, I have to go. No. Chloe hugged me from behind. Her embrace was so tight, as if she wanted to squeeze herself into my body. I turned around, pushed her away, and looked at her with the eyes of a stranger. Chloe, you know it's over between us. Don't make me hate you. I'd rather you hate me than forget me. Chloe rolled off the bed, crawled to my side, and clutched my leg, refusing to let go. Noah, I truly can't live without you. I pulled her up from the floor and helped her sit properly on the bed. She looked at me with tear-filled eyes. Noah. Listening to her hoarse cries, I was silent for a moment, then walked out of the hospital room without looking back, letting her sobs and calls echo behind me. With one final minute until takeoff, I boarded the plane. Outside the window, the sky was blue with white clouds, and the sun shone brightly. Hello, my name is Chloe, what's your name? Noah, when I grow up, will you marry me? Noah. Noah. Chloe's voice faintly echoed in my ears. I gave a wry smile, pulled down my eye mask, and put on my headphones. Chloe, goodbye forever. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your views, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.